Okay, so
Yes, sir.
we'll just get through it. Give me just a minute. It takes a minute or two to get YouTube to turn on.
All right, take your time.
Thank you. All right, welcome to the 186th District Court. Court is in session. This is cause number 2021 CR 5955W, State of Texas versus Lysandra Cook. We're here today for a plea. We're conducting this hearing via video conference using the Zoom application. We're also using YouTube to live stream the proceedings to keep the hearing public. Time now is 12:13 p.m. on the first day of July, 2021. These proceedings are official. They're on the record, and they're being recorded by the official court reporter. Counsel and all present are instructed to act as though you were in court, and all are instructed not to record the proceedings. And if I could have the attorneys make appearances, starting with the state of Texas, please.
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Marshall White for Ms. Cook, Your Honor.
And Ms. Cook, are you the same Lysandra Cook, charged by information with harassment of a public servant? Is that you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
And I'm going to use a function of Zoom. It's called share screen. I'm going to show you the, let's see, well, since we're on this document, there's a discovery acknowledgement signed, dated by both sides. I'm doing the same. I'll make it a part of the record. All right. Well, let me do this document too, because it's in front of me. I have in front of your screen, it's called the defendant's consent to plea by video conference. And I'll scroll down. There's an electronic signature right here. I'm circling with my cursor. Is this your signature, ma'am?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
When you sign this, you're telling me two things. One, you understand normally we do pleas live in an open court, but that you are consenting to do this plea by video conference. Did you understand that when you sign this?
Yes, sir.
Secondly, your electronic signature here, as well as all the other electronic signatures of yours in the plea packet before me, you're telling me that those are valid as if you personally signed them. Did you understand that when you signed this?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
I approve the consent and I make it a part of the record. Now we're on share screen with the information in this case. This is the document that charges you. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with Mr. White?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to scroll down to another document. It's called the waiver of indictment, waiver of reading the information, and waiver of certain time delays under Texas law. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with Mr. White?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
The signature electronic one right here. I'm using my cursor to circle around. Is this yours?
Yes, sir.
When you sign this, you're telling me that you understand normally this type of offense has to go to the grand jury for an indictment, but that you want to waive that proceeding. Is that true?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
And now that the information has been filed instead of an indictment, we could read the information out loud to you here in court, but you're telling me you want to waive that process as well. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And then now that the information has been filed, you have two time delays under the law. One is for 2 days, one is for 10 days. But your signature here is indicating to me that you would rather proceed today and waive those delays. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
I approve the consent. Rather, I approve the waiver, and I make it a part of the record. Now I've
Thank you.
scrolled to another document called the court's admonishments. And actually, before I do that, let me note that we do have an application for community supervision. I'll make that a part of the record. All right, back to the court's admonishments. Let me scroll through this for you because it's several pages and ask you, are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
On the bottom of page 3 is electronic signatures. It's yours.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get out of share screen. By signing the court's admonishments, you're telling me that you understand the court's admonishments, that you understand the rights are contained within it. Is that true?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
And that you want to give up those rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And the rights that you're giving up is you're giving up your right to a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent, which includes the right not to incriminate yourself and not plead today. Did you understand that when you signed this?
Yes, sir.
Signing this, you're also telling me you understand the consequences of a plea and the sentencing range for the offense, which is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand that when you signed this?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
I approve the waivers that are contained within the court's admonishments, and I make them a part of the record. We're going to go back to share screen. I'm going to show you the plea bargain in this case. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with your attorney?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
There's an electronic signature to the left. I'm using my cursor to circle around. There's another one to the right. I'm using my cursor to circle around. Are these your two signatures?
Yes, sir.
This document details for me your agreement with the state as far as punishment is concerned, and I'll let you know if I'm going to follow this prior to the entry of your plea. Punishment will be assessed with 4 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice with a $1,500 fine. There's no application for deferred adjudication. However, the state is recommending that I suspend sentence and place you on community supervision. Taken for consideration for dismissal is another unindicted felony cause of harassment of a public servant. One of your signatures, the one off the left, that waives your appeal outside of the agreement, but the recommendations are you be placed on community supervision for 2 years, have a drug and alcohol treatment evaluation, and perform community service hours. Is that your understanding of the agreement, ma'am?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
Counsel, is that your understanding as well?
It is, Your Honor.
I'm going to get out of share screen. Ms. Cook, I'm not bound by a plea bargain. I do not have to follow this. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I do follow a plea bargain, then you lose your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore. I do.
And that's true unless I grant you permission to appeal or unless certain motions were followed and ruled upon. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
Counsel, any such rulings in this case?
No, Your Honor.
If I do not follow the plea bargain, I'll allow you to withdraw the plea and we'll proceed to trial as if this hearing never occurred. Do you understand that?
Sir.
I'll note again, one of your signatures on the plea bargain waives your appeal. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
If not, and a plea of guilty or no contest to the offense would have serious adverse effects on your immigration status. And I'll note you're certified on the court's admonishments that you are an American citizen. Counsel, do you believe that your client has a factual and rational understanding of the charge pending against her?
I do.
Do you believe that she's been able to assist you in the defense?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe that she's mentally competent to waive rights and enter a plea here today?
I do believe Ms. Cook is competent.
Ma'am, to the offense that's listed on your information, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Mr. Moore.
You understand that you can still be found guilty under a no contest plea?
Yes, sir.
Other than the plea bargain, did anyone promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Did anyone force you or coerce you to plead today?
No, sir.
After going over this case with your attorney, do you believe that pleading here today is in your best interest?
Yes, sir, it is.
Does the state have anything to offer to support the plea?
The state offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
It's admitted. I reviewed State's Exhibit 1 and attachments prior to getting on the record and find that it is sufficient to support the plea. Ma'am, I find that your plea was freely, intelligently, and voluntarily made. There was sufficient evidence to support the plea and that you're mentally competent to enter into such a plea. And I find you guilty, ma'am. Mr. White, do we waive the pre-sentence investigation report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any legal reason as to why your client cannot be sentenced today?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
No legal reason. In accordance with the agreement with the state, ma'am, I'm going to sentence you to 4 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. However, I'm going to suspend that. I'm going to place you on community supervision for a period of 2 years. There is a $1,500 fine. Taken in consideration for dismissal is another cause. I'm going to read you the cause number. I'll tell you the offense. If you plead true, then I dismiss that case. Do you understand how we're going to proceed, ma'am?
Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
Cause number NM612411, harassment of a public servant. How do you plead? True or not true?
True.
As dismissed. You'll have a TAP evaluation. You must follow the recommendations. I'm going to give you 100 community service hours. I'm going to have you take anger management courses as well. How old are you, Miss?
I'm 31, Mr. Moore.
Okay. I'm going to give you 30 days to verify employment as well. Ma'am, this is a plea bargain case, and I followed the plea bargain. So you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You do not have the right to appeal. I'm also noting you waived your appeal in the plea bargain agreement. I'm making a certification of this for the record, and I'll provide a copy of the certification to your attorney to provide to you. Ma'am, we're almost concluding the hearing. And when we do, you need to stay on Zoom because afterwards they're going to have you talk to our probation officer about your conditions of community supervision. Is there anything else from either side in regards to the plea or the sentencing?
Not from the
No.
state, Your Honor.
Ms. Cook, do you have anything to offer?
No, not at all.
Okay, Judge, no.
All right, thank you. All right, this matter is now concluded. We're in recess.